We're going to have an important Fragments of Silicon broadcast in 5 minutes. So join us there.
All right, welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. Right, so breaking format this week as I have some time pressures to deal with. So instead of doing the usual thing, we're moving right over to the interview. So joining us this week is Keys.
Hello.
Greetings. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Just got back from school, so
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. Right. So how we like to get started is we like to get to know the people behind the games and all that business, and we begin by asking this particular question: what got you interested in video games?
Oh, playing them as a kid, a litany of things. I don't know. I've always been into computers, and I wanted to make stuff move on computers as a kid. But I don't know. It's a lot of stuff. I don't have a particular game or anything off the top of my head. Um, but I
You have a
like seeing what
particular
people made.
system that you at least had when you were a kid that made you like, I want to build for this.
No, unless you count the Wii, but that wasn't really what started it. I didn't have a lot of game systems as a kid.
Mm.
Uh, Actually, honestly, the game that probably did it was Minecraft because it's like, oh, I can make things, but now I want to make mods and stuff for it. Even though didn't quite learn that, it got me down the road of like just learning to code and making nonsense on like Scratch when I was a kid and other stuff. But yeah.
Adam, you still there, or are you having technical problems?
Hello?
No, I'm
I-
I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sometimes Adam glitches out.
all good. No worries.
Like, I was waiting for him to, finish.
Oh, I'm
Like,
done. Sorry. Yeah, basically just playing creative games and sandbox games got me into it. And then as I got older, playing games like Celeste and Hollow Knight and a bunch of other really cool indie projects made me want to be like, I can make my own at some point.
mm, right. So
Yeah.
we usually ask what made people do the jump professionally, but I'm wondering if if you're aiming to be professional or if this is just like student development currently.
This is I want to be professional. I would like to be in some capacity. I'd like to be doing something creative. Game dev is, I guess, technically a hobby at this moment in time.
Mm.
But I would like it to go further than that. I'm more of an artist and like a writer and stuff. And programming is something I just really enjoy doing on my spare time. But this project kind of ballooned over into like, okay, this is now a 2 year long thing, and it is my main thing. So it fluctuates back and forth, but I would like to be in some way doing games or comics or working for a studio doing animation or storyboarding and whatnot. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that shows in the game we got showcased here because, honestly, its visuals quite impressed me when I saw it on Blue Sky. Um,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
you know, it's like And another reason why this game piqued the interest is I think this is our first coverage of a game being done in Pico 8.
Oh, very cool. It's a good system. I highly recommend a lot of the games. Sorry.
Well, before we get into that, for the uninitiated, what is Pico 8?
Pico 8 is I don't know the specifics of stats and stuff, but it is a fantasy console. It's meant to emulate developing for stuff like the N64 NES, or like even Game Boy and Game Boy Color. You get a limited set of programming tokens. You have 128 by 128 pixels to work with of sprite data per cartridge. You program in Lua. It's very limiting, but if you can work around those limitations, you can make some really cool stuff, and people do make some really cool stuff. It's I highly recommend it if you want to learn programming. And it does cost $15, but if you go to lexlawful.com, you can play games people have released there for free. And stuff, but some people have made commercial games and stuff. Like there's a Doom clone-ish game called Poom, which was made in Pico 8. That's got full 3D graphics and stuff, but he made it as a little commercial thing that's on Steam, but there's a demo available for it. It's really neat. I could talk about the engine all day. The community is very sweet and very welcoming if you're wanting to learn.
Yeah, yeah, I saw. That's right. Derelict Star is a game that's making waves outside the Pico 8 scene. If you've ever heard of this title,
I don't think that I have. One second. Pico 8 images.
yeah, it's a platforming game about platforming, like,
Mhm.
which may sound a bit, I don't know, absurd or meta. It's a platforming game about the mechanics and all the little bits and bobs that make a platforming game. Like, because the developer is very obsessed with the mechanics of a platform game, and um, like it's been getting mentioned from like like MetaNet, the developers of N++, and so on and so forth. So,
All right. I have not seen this, but I will check it out. It looks super interesting. I love the style that they have for it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very impressive stuff.
Oh yeah. It look
Um,
it looks like it.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, once again, Pico 8 is an intriguing platform, if nothing else.
Hmm.
Just to see what some of the people are doing in the space. This game included.
Thank you.
That being said, have you worked with any other platform slash development programs?
Oh, I started out learning. Well, I started out actually not that it's not, but my first real game engine was Unity. But after all the fiascos it's had the last couple of years, I I've I've switched over to learning Godot. But when
Yeah.
the whole like runtime fee thing happened, I was just like, okay, any project I'm working on here is kind of useless, and I can't trust Unity. And I got this as a gift, so it was like perfect timing. Um,
Mm.
I received Pico 8 as a gift, so I figured it's because I would just make a little prototype, and that prototype ended up taking 2 years of my life. So,
That's the best kind.
I
indeed.
mean, I don't think it matters what level of game dev we cover or how long the developer has been. This is the story of game dev,
Yeah.
at least as
Oh,
told on this program.
mhm.
No one's
Like,
ever said this was easier than they thought it was going to be.
Oh no, yeah.
and
If you, yeah, no, I 100% agree. There's this I don't there's a saying that I saw recently. It was like the last 10% is the best 90% of the project for game dev, and I have been in the last 10% for quite a while.
Yeah.
But I'm getting to the end. I swear to God, I want this game to come out fully anyway. The demo's been out for a little bit. Apologies. Sorry. Please continue.
Well, how long ago did you put out the demo?
The demo has been out roughly a year into development. I updated it a couple months ago, and have been currently working on another update that's supposed to come out soon for the demo. But this one will hopefully be the last update for the demo because it'll be caught up to where the game is now. It's available on itch as well as Newgrounds and on the Lex Waffle website. If you, like I said earlier, if you wanted to just play it on its own. But yeah, it's been out for a little while. I've been trying to keep it updated and keep people posted. That's why I post so frequently on Blue Sky.
So
Yeah.
is the footage
Fair
that
enough.
we have that was sent to us, is that from the current build that you're working
Yes,
on? Or?
this is the current build as of a week ago, and I'm once it gets further into the video, there's a I go through the second to last level, which isn't in the demo. Just as a why not? I figured I'd show progress because I'm
That's
kind
fair
of
enough.
yeah, because I haven't shown much of it or of that particular level. But yeah,
And so we've certainly talked about the nuts and bolts underneath the game, but we haven't really covered the game itself. Like, for example, oh, who are you? What are you doing? Like, why is he carrying this big sword and slicing around?
okay. Well, if you want the story, you play as Rem, who is a little shadow. She's she doesn't know where she doesn't know where she is. Well, she knows vaguely where she is. There's a couple characters in there that talk to her. You wake up being taken care of by these two strangers who get you back to mostly full health, though you are missing an arm. And then they basically give you a quest. You get dropped into a hole. You find a weapon, really, and basically have to save the world, quote unquote. I don't know. I wrote a whole story for this. It's when you first play the game, there's a like you can just read the story actually, and it basically explains the world while you're there. You are the vessel of darkness, and light's being evil and trying to destroy whatever she's made. So you're trying to stop that from happening. And these little creatures you're beating up are all soldiers of light and whatnot. Uh, and you're just basically trying to clean up the areas that you go through until you get to the big bad, which is which is the vessel of light who's been imprisoned for however long. I didn't explain that very well there, but if you want to play the demo, it explains it way better because it's a fully thought out story.
Certainly a bit more story than I was expecting, given the constraints. But regardless, what kind of platformer is this?
Well, it's inspired by games like Celeste and Hollow Knight, but it is mainly a combat platformer. As you can see in the footage and the level that you are right now. It's as far as I can. I'm looking at the stream. This is the shop where you can upgrade yourself. This is the witch Cragger who is also a blacksmith and will upgrade your sword for you, and then she lets you upgrade yourself with the bloodstones you collect and stuff like that. But basically, your goal is just to get as strong as possible, make things easier while getting through the levels. You just try to find as many old sword shards as you can to upgrade your weapon, and then get as strong as you can to get to the boss, and then fight the boss. It's a super simple game loop. To be completely fair, I wasn't expecting the game to grow as much as it did in scope. But
That's a common sentiment.
yeah. So the mechanics are a little simple, but again, it is made in Pico 8, and if this were made in a more substantial engine, I'd probably do more in-depth fighting mechanics with combos and stuff like, say, Devil May Cry, but 2D.
Mhm.
And maybe one day, once this is finished, I will either remake it or make a sequel to it in some other thing, but that's way too far down the line to even kind of think about at the minute.
Would you
But
consider doing it on, say, more quote unquote advanced system, or would you make like something else in Pico 8?
oh god, I wouldn't make a game this big in Pico 8 again, at least not for a long time. Um, this was me just trying to be like, well, it's made for small games. I want to make a big game, but I like the system this works in. However, there is a counterpart to Pico 8 called Picotron that uses the same systems, but basically it doesn't give you as many. There's not as many limits. You get basically full access to whatever memory there is. You do have some limits in terms of colors you can use. Like you can only have 64 colors at a time, whereas Pico 8 is like 16. But I'd either make, if I were to make a more advanced version of this, it would either be in Pico 8 or Mono Game, which is a full C sharp uh like game framework, which is kind of what, well, Celeste wasn't made in Mono Game, but it was made in XML, I think, uh, or XNL. And Mono Game is a fork of that since XNL got canceled.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, indeed.
Um, about what state of completion would you say Umbra is at this point?
At this point, it's getting close. Like I don't want to jinx things too much, but after I update the demo and get some feedback, it's pretty much just rebalancing, fixing typos, making sure everything's as polished as it can be, and then it should be ready for release. The boss fight though, which is the current side of the game that I'm working on to get like complete and ready for playtesting uh, does need a little bit more work because it is a little difficult, even with like full upgrades and stuff.
Mm.
Mhm.
And where is the game going to be when it gets completed? Like, where do Pico 8 games go when they are completed?
Well, in this particular case, it's going to be available on on itch.io specifically, I guess. The demo will be up and available completely for free, but once this game is complete, it'll be paid. I'm still working out a price that would be fair because I don't want to overcharge for a game of this size. Uh, but at the same time, I have spent a majority of my time on it, so I would like uh, to earn something on it, at least a little bit. But
Mm.
I also want to be fair to people because games are expensive nowadays, and I don't want to. I want someone to just be like, oh, I can pick this up and play it. I don't know.
It depends on the game and so on and so forth. Um,
Right.
like the indie scene, games aren't all that expensive on balance. Like, like some people are balking at um, a certain title going for $20
Mm.
or something, but yeah, this is a completely different conversation than like the AAA space where games are costing base level like $70, and that's not even include collector's editions and
Oh,
microtransactions and all that
yeah.
stuff.
No, I gotcha.
No,
It's just something I gotta think about and figure out what is
yeah,
fair, even for indie games and stuff.
yeah.
I don't want to I guess overstay my welcome. That's not the right thing, but I guess it gets the point across.
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
yeah.
And
Uh,
so, have you given any consideration to future projects, or is this um after this is it for a while?
I'm working on a ton of stuff other than this that isn't necessarily related to game dev, but I do have other ideas I would like to test, like make prototypes for. I have I have a bunch of old like game jam games that I've had sitting in my backlog that I'd maybe want to expand or turn into something fun. I have a webcomic I'm working on in the background that's been going on for like 3 years. I have character art that I do for people and commissions and stuff like that. It's just I'm trying to make as much as I can and be as creative as possible.
Mm. A common sentiment these days.
Mhm.
Right. So I think I've run through my gamut of questions. I'll turn it over to my colleagues here to see if there's anything further for you.
Okay.
So you did the art for the game. Did you also do any of the music and stuff too, or was that?
I did everything.
Fair enough.
Yeah, sorry. What this was just kind of this was again supposed to be just a side pro. Oh, I just noticed something that wasn't supposed to be there in the background video. Whoops. I'm fine. No one else noticed it. It's okay. There's a tile that was misplaced. But this was just supposed to be a side project when it started, so it was just me. But I have had help from people in the Pico 8 community with learning the engine and with code. So people like Freds and Cosmonaut and a bunch of other individuals on the Pico 8 Discord have been super helpful and super friendly. But the art, the writing, and the music were all me. And I've just been slowly trying to figure out mechanics and learn Lua because Lua was not a language I knew in for code when I started this project. Yeah.
All right.
Also, if you want to see all the people that did help, that's in the end credits of the demo. Sorry,
Ah,
I should specify that too.
fair enough. I can't think of anything else offhand. Alex, do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
All right. So Keys, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule and being with us here today. We do occasionally like to get to see potentially future fresh faces on the show, because there's definitely a lot of potential in Umbra here.
Well,
Like,
thank you.
oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate that. Sorry.
All right.
Oh,
So
can I ask what drew you to the game? Because
one
I'm
once
just
again,
curious.
it's very striking, even in like social media GIF form. And as previously mentioned, it's also because it was built in Pico 8. That is a
Gotcha.
subject we have not breached on this program. I mean, when it comes to game dev, like it's, Unity all day long, or we do increasingly do get people who work in Godot. It's just, I've been hearing Pico 8 getting, making waves, as well. So it figured we would, make sense to get somebody who's working in that field to talk about it. So,
Gotcha. Well,
all right.
thank you. Well, thank you for inviting me onto your show. I hope I was this was an acceptable uh, outcome.
I mean,
I guess.
yeah,
Oops.
it's a bit short, but in fairness, you're working on your first game,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, yeah. Well, it definitely yeah. It's my first big game, quote unquote. But
yeah.
I yeah. So, well, hopefully, if hopefully if I am ever to make another game and you decide I'm welcome, hopefully it'll be a more oh god, what is the word? More in depth. I apo- I
It's
apologize, but thank
fine.
you. Well, thank
Like,
you. Oh,
all right. So it's always been awkward because usually we would transition to the next segment, but the next segment's the news, and we don't have transition music to that. So, welcome to the news. Um, Eddie, why don't you start things off? Because, your life is a flaming wreck.
Oh God, where do
I
I
do.
eat? Mhm.
Sorry, I apologize. I do have to dip out, but
All
you
right,
guys
that's totally fine.
have a lovely time
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
and good luck. Thank you for inviting. Bye.
Alrighty. Oh God, where do I even begin? I was gonna say up until yesterday, the week's been pretty quiet, and then oh God. So, yesterday afternoon, some dude came out from behind the wooded area behind our house, and I guess apparently he got jumped, and just a whole lot of like, I guess crazy time happened. Because I guess the dude might have had a concussion because he was a little out of it. So I was trying to get him help either if he needed the cops, paramedics, but he settled on a family member coming to get him. So that was an interesting hour and a half of just, you know, there's a weird dude we don't know. But that's all been taken care of, so other than being a little crazy, that was okay. And then today we find out that I was with Dad when he got his, I guess, what was his current car, and we asked to get gap insurance. Well, instead of giving us gap insurance, which what gap basically does is if you're in an accident, um, they'll pay for what's the leftover amount from if your car is totaled. So, like, say you bought a car for $15,000, it's in an accident and totaled, and it's only worth 10. The gap insurance will cover the rest of what you owe on the loan. And after Mom got hit by the deer back when she worked at the hospital, Mom and Dad kind of made a point to make sure they get gap insurance on all their vehicles because Mom had to roll like $6,000 into the loan for the car she got after that because we didn't have the money to pay it off. Well, we thought Dad had gap on this car, and turns out no, they gave him an extended warranty. So he needs to figure out if the gap is actually with the loan holder, if they're the one who actually have the gap insurance stuff, or if we're screwed out of about 2,000-ish dollars is what he's gonna owe after he gets the payout from the insurance company. So that's moderately frustrating. And then Dad has to figure out um just how he's going to pay for the rest of the rental he needs because he doesn't have a car anymore, and originally the insurance company wasn't going to pay for it till after today, but I guess they're extending it, but he doesn't know for how long. So there may be a very real possibility we are going to get him a car this weekend if we can afford it because of him and Mom being absolute morons and not paying anything on the roof loan, they are in default on that, and it's ruining their credit. So I don't even know if Dad's going to be able to get a car anywhere outside of a buy here, pay here lot, which is going to be something that's beat to shit with high mileage. So all around, quote unquote, fun times. Wait, no, opposite of that. And then it's just kind of seeing about getting what we can with the house cleaned up and stuff because the people who are getting the house remortgaged through need to come in and, appraise the house and make sure it's basically not a trap house. So we need to my sister, Mom, and I have been mostly cleaning up, but getting Dad to do anything is like pulling teeth. So It's just a lot of frustrating
Look,
stuff.
if you had the option, I would seriously suggest, okay, don't make him do anything and then have him deal with the consequences. But unfortunately,
That
I think the consequences will probably have a worse effect on you than on him.
yeah, because like that's kind of the whole problem. Like, believe me, I wish we could, but that's not really an option. They need to pay off this loan, because if they don't, the interest and stuff is going to get more than the house is worth, honestly, which means they could take our fucking house. So, I hate having to be the adult, but you know. And I wish either me or my sister were physically able to do more cleaning up, but we just can't. We're both disabled. And it's kind of horseshit. He's expecting, I guess, kind of expecting his disabled children to clean his house for him. Like, I get us helping with some things, but Jesus, get off your ass and do something more than just drink all day? You know? So yeah, that's been my, I guess, past couple days. Gaming wise, not really a whole lot going on there. I did end up for Digimon, I did end up building a Medusamon deck. It's one of the stronger decks going around right now, and it was like, oh, hey, that stuff's cheap right now. I might as well at least have it on hand. And also next Sunday, assuming we don't have anything crazy go on this week, next Sunday I might be going to a Beyblade tournament. So, yay. So I've been kind of like practicing here at the house with my stuff. But yeah, I think that's it from me. More to come next week.
Alex?
Well, I finally was contacted by the CPAP machine vendors, and unfortunately, they ran me through a questionnaire of questions, only some of which I could answer properly, and did a fucking facial measuring app thing
Oh god, I
to
hate those.
to try and measure me for thing. But then they sent me videos of a few different kinds of masks to try to choose from, and I can't really make that choice based on a fucking video. I need to be able to like touch stuff.
Is it somewhere in, like, locally, or is it like a mail-in thing?
It is predominantly by mail, but I'm still talking to them about to see if there's something they can work out. If not, I'm just going to maybe take one, and if it doesn't work, return it, and then if the next one doesn't work, return it, and whatever, because
Yeah,
apparently you can return them within 30 days or whatever.
yeah, that's how mine worked. I ended up just getting a full face one personally because I have like allergy issues, so
They defaulted to just nose ones for me for some reason.
huh.
Possibly based on some of the questions I
Yeah.
have.
Like,
Even though I usually end up breathing through my mouth at night.
you might want to mention that.
I did, but they didn't ask me. Well, I did with the second person, but then they didn't ask me.
Because,
So,
yeah, I personally like the full face, but that's just me, and some people don't.
well, so here's the thing. Things strapped around my head sometimes give me headaches. So that's one of my biggest concerns. And then the second concern is, will it be a tactile thing that makes me unable to sleep?
Yeah.
And then the third thing is, does it actually help with my breathing?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been extremely frustrating, but
Yeah, it was frustrating when I first started because the company I originally went to is now out of business because they were doing some very bad things. So
I think this is just some kind of national chain thing.
Mm,
So they don't have like showrooms or
yeah.
even warehouses really that you could like. They said they might be able to come up with something where I could at least look at some of them in person, but I really want to try to figure out how some of these things go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. That's kind of the main thing, I guess.
Didn't you have some Gundam stuff?
Oh yeah, I did finish the Gundam Greep. Unfortunately, as chronicled in the Gundam model kit building section of our Discord channel, I'd finished part of it and put it in flight mode. Specifically, I had the parts replacement torso in just to see how the wings folded up without arms in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a couple of days until I finished it, and I forgot that it has. A lot of the time, Gundam stuff is held together by pegs that just hold in by friction.
Oh, it
But
still has polycaps?
no,
Okay, it's not a
that's not the
polycap.
problem. There's a few things on this model that instead you put a thing in and then slide it forward to lock it.
Mm.
And I was trying to undo one of those joints by pulling it, so now one of the parts has a stressed joint that
Ooh.
is now floppy.
Ooh.
And unfortunately, this is a somewhat expensive model to get a replacement of.
Yeah, because unfortunately Bandai doesn't have where you can just order replacement parts.
I did find one for like not extravagant. I really like the design in general and would seriously consider having one in flight mode and one in regular mode. Also,
there,
as Chronic.
I was gonna say there are some places like on the Gunpla Reddit or whatever where some people are selling off like failed customized kits that they sell for dirt cheap just because they can't do anything else with it.
That could be worth it, but this was a P Bandai kit to start with. I think almost all of the G Unit things have been.
Oh yeah, you might be boned, friend.
Anyway, I'll figure something out. It's not the end of the world. It's just
Yeah.
the big blaster cannon is a little bit floppy. And like I said, as chronicled, I have some ideas about some of the choices. Like the parts formation in the torso is almost not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
You can do the transformation as depicted in the manga that it comes from without that. It just doesn't look super aerodynamic because through the magic of perspective cheating, they never make you look at that there's like an entire torso hanging down from below the wings
Right.
before where the legs go backwards as thrusters. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I'm trying to decide whether I want to do a Dragonar next, work on one of my Seed Freedom ones next, or go with the Hukabine.
Mm.
So we'll see. Although before any of that, I'm probably gonna. I picked up another Pokepla of Lucario because it looks amusingly posable. But that'll be quick. I might even do some of that this evening. We'll see.
Yeah. I kind of don't. I think they still have the Sprigatio one that I kind of want to get just because Sprigatio is cute.
That's gonna be one that's not posable like at all.
Yeah, but it so it look nice on the desk.
Mm-hmm. I prefer ones that have at least like articulate. Like the Lucario has movable arms basically, and it also comes with a Riolu.
Ah.
Because Lucario is not very big, so sometimes they include
Yeah.
a pre-evolved form as a bonus.
Now, does it use the? Is it just two separate models, or do you use the parts from the Lucario to make the Riolu?
Oh no, it's two separate parts.
Because I know sometimes they do that. Like they did that with the Digimon figures, where the little parts inside you could make make like the pre-evolved form, but it's using parts from the main model, so you can't have both of them out together.
I don't think I even know what models you're talking about.
I think it was like one of the God, what? Oh wait, no, I have the transforming Digimon I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah, it would work that way for those.
Yeah, I might be confused.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm up to, I think.
Alrighty.
Still been playing Super Robot Wars Y when I've been playing video games, so nothing super new on that front.
Alrighty, so I guess it's Adam's turn.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, are you done?
Yeah.
Then it's my turn. Like, anyway, let me see. So, the good news is the new Wi-Fi router has come in. I just haven't had time to poke around and install it because I'm like some drama with my brother has erupted. I kind of sucked all the oxygen out of the room, so to speak.
Mm,
Like, you know, don't know the details yet, but what I know in the broad strokes is apparently he's I don't like he's got to I don't know if he has to appear for a deposition, but like his ex is wanting him to be deposed.
that's not good.
Like I have no idea. Like
Mm,
like I said, these are the kind of details I'm missing. It's just, got a phone call about it in brief because, a lot of stuff's being sorted out. Plus, I think he was on his way to work. What I do know is like his ex is asking for $500 for the deposition, which is I don't think how that works. Like, I, I genuinely don't know the process of how a deposition works.
mhm.
But so it's just like I said, their issues are going to court. They're having a preliminary
Is it
hearing
a
in July.
deposition to decide if she gets the money, or is it a deposition of like
I don't. I don't know. I don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. I don't know any details. I just know the skeleton of things.
because I'm pretty sure you don't like get paid for having someone else show up in court under like
Like
anything like
a deposition doesn't happen in court. Like
just it's a legal
uh,
statement outside of court.
yes, like a deposition happens in like a conference room. Like their lawyers do the asking. The um, let's say other side, not necessarily a defendant, because this is a civil matter. Um, the the other side sits down with their lawyer and answers the question, and it's all put on transcription.
Mhm.
Um, like I know the form of a deposition, but I don't know like all the you know back end stuff. So and yeah, that's been
Because
causing a lot of
it seems very strange to me if there's a way in which you could say, "Hey, you guy, pay me to answer the questions I'm asking you."
like my personal theory is this is a court cost, and this is the kind of thing that will be determined at time of judgment, like or
Yeah,
whatever's going to happen. So
yeah, you can make someone
like I
pay
said,
after after you've proven that it was necessary.
you know, my advice to him is just don't pay a thing, right now,
Unless the judge
like
tells
in
him
that
to, yeah.
direction. So um, outside of that, um, it looks like my meds issue is finally going to be solved tomorrow. In that the meds are finally going to come in. Um, for some reason, it took them a long time to actually fill. Like the pharmacy was just very unusually detailed about the process of how they fill out their pills. Like, they say that, it goes down, it's down in Orlando and the robots have to fill and like, okay. Like, the pills are still not here. Anyway, and I guess in terms of gaming, well, still very much in the throes of Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, I think this is one of the games that people who play a lot of games complain about, in terms of being way too big and bloated. Because there's
I
a
mean,
lot
it's
here,
it's a,
and
it's an open world adventure game. That's what you get them for.
I guess I'm just it's a modern day one of these, by the way. So you know, eh, not modern, but from the time where 500 hours was, this game will take was an actual selling point. I know that was actually Dead Island 2. But still, the same spirit definitely applies here. Let's see, and you know, in turn, like I do have another game I play when I'm taking a break from the bloat. Tomomori, a game like I found on last week's MSP's guest Metroidvania list. Um, though I think I agree with him, and it definitely works better as an action platformer than a Metroidvania. Like it's a Metroidvania in the most basic sense of the word, but it's pretty good action combat platformer. It was also like 250 on Steam at the time. I think that was in accordance for Golden Week. It's a Japanese game. Like, and I think that'll do it for my news. So over to the topic of discussion. Hetty, I suppose you can play us into this.
All right, give me 1 second.
All right, so welcome to the topic of discussion. I'll be honest, I don't even remember what we were going to talk about before Nintendo dropped a
We were gonna laugh
literal.
at GameStop trying to buy eBay.
Oh, right. I guess well, no. Like I know what MSP's entertainment news is going to
Yeah,
be
certain
all
somebody
about.
died.
Yeah, and Kevin's going to be probably talking up Ted Turner for a good 20 minutes. Like you should have seen his Blue Sky account today.
I'm aware.
Like anyway, so literally out of nowhere,
Yeah.
like Nintendo drops the news that
I have joked about Nintendo being, by the way, Major directed 5 minutes. See you then. This is the first time I think they've literally done it.
Yeah.
yeah.
The tweet
Like
announcing it is literally 5 minutes before the posted start time.
When I think the only thing that would have made it funnier is if they were fully dropping the game now, just like straight up shadow dropping it.
It's later this month, right?
June next month.
next month.
Next month.
Yeah, late next month. But they just dropped the news that they were doing a Star Fox Direct.
And go figure, they're doing the thing that they like to do with Star Fox again.
That's one way of putting it.
Retelling the one Star Fox story that has been successful.
I think it's I think it's more of an indication that they really don't know what to do with Star Fox.
I mean,
Like,
what the last new thing they did was what, Adventures? Well, okay, there was
No,
Command, but we don't talk about
they
no.
did Command and Assault. Those did even like advance the timeline. The problem is that they advanced the timeline toward not really like the thing is that Star Fox being a sci-fi war chronicle, you cannot as easily just keep telling literally the same story with different things over and over again unless you do what they do and remake the same story because things change. People have left the Star Fox team. Peppy retired, Slippy became a mechanic. The dinosaur planet shit is involved because it was once, so now it is forever.
Well, keep in mind the original continuity. Star Fox for the Super Nintendo has Star Fox 2,
True.
which has a bunch of stuff that
No,
is
yeah, but
in its own form.
I'm talking about the newer stuff. Well,
Right.
technically two is the newest game released. Um, but
You keep trying to push that, but nobody sees it that way.
well, you're the one
Uh,
who brought it up. But
right, but
yes,
what I'm
Star
saying
Fox
is like,
the original Star Fox 64 was essentially a remake of Star Fox 1 incorporating some of the ideas they had for 2, mostly Star Wolf.
well, yeah, Star Fox 64 is it's not a remake of Star Fox. Um, it's a reimagining of Star Fox's narrative, um, only fully fleshed out.
It's
Like,
Castlevania. It's Super Castlevania.
yes, or Castlevania for the MSX. Like, Konami actually did a lot of retellings of Castlevania
Mhm.
that we may have to talk about one Halloween. Like, but and Star Fox is very much getting into that territory, but except for Star Fox 64 keeps getting remade
Yeah,
because
and this is supposed to be an even more exact remake. Well, Star Fox 64 3D was an exact remake.
yes,
Zero was a like reimagining that has a lot of stuff that was the same, but some new stuff. This is very
so
explicitly, oh hey, we're doing the exact same thing again. Have fun.
yeah. So Zero, let's not forget, like um remaking Star Fox was secondary to this for Star Fox Zero being the showcase game for the Wii U's control system,
Hmm.
which was kind of a really bad sign of how bungled the Wii U's messaging really was, because they were making a demo showcase game in fucking year 4.
I do think
Like,
that it was a neat idea, but it's a very hard to get used to control system to get the most out of the game, and that's not really acceptable.
well, yeah, it's like people who really got into the control system will swear by it, but nobody wants to get used to a Star Fox game's control.
Right.
Like, they took what is a very I won't say simple, but very accessible gameplay style, and cocked it up by adding their usual gimmickry to the proceedings.
Hmm.
you know as for why Nintendo is doing another remake of Star Fox slash Star Fox 64,
Yeah, I
well,
think it's pretty much what I
um
said. It's the Star Fox story that worked.
no, like, there's another reason why they're doing this. Um, and it like the clue is in the fact that they started off the direct with the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Because you know what they've just done? They've reintroduced Fox McCloud to a new audience because it's been 10 years since Star Fox Zero. An entire
But they're not
decade.
using the movie's art style.
We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. We cannot help but get to that. Like like the onus here is Nintendo didn't say so, but the subtext is okay. We just introduced a bunch of let's say 6 to 11-year-olds to this character that they wouldn't know about because Mario gets games all the live long day. Fox has literally spent a decade in the dustbin. So let's do a remake. Let's do a Star Fox game. And in terms of their structure, they're absolutely doing the safe thing. They are doing Star Fox 64 over again. And I think it's fair to call this a Star Fox 64 reimagining. Because
they said that they're specifically keeping the stages the same, so we'll have to see how much actually new there is.
Well, it's a reimagining in the sense that they've got they've got cutscenes now. Instead of the General Pepper overviews that 64 had.
Yeah, or
that kind
like
of
what
thing.
they have right now on screen, the text crawl.
Yes. There were some brief cutscenes in the level done in engine, but very different from what we're seeing in what they're just calling Star Fox. And
which also,
once
please
again,
don't do this.
Yes.
yeah, I'm like, because nobody's going to call it Star Fox because we already have a game called Star Fox.
We're going to call
They're
it
just
Star
going to call it
Fox
Star
Switch
Fox
2.
No,
Star Fox,
no. They're going to call
Fox
it
Switch or whatever.
No, they're going to call it Star Fox 2026. I have complained about this before, and I'll complain about it here. Stop recycling names wholesale. Like we are, like you're going to confuse the databases for all time. Like I understand you did because you did this before. You couldn't do Star Fox Zero again. I'm like, you probably could have done Star Fox Beginnings or Origins, or there are words you could have used.
Star Fox the Lilac Saga.
Yes, Star Fox Lilac Wars.
Yes.
It's right there, guys.
I
You
gave
could have brought
it to you for free.
yeah, like spend more than 30 seconds coming up with your game titles. And no, coming up like using the name Star Fox does not reflect a back to basics approach because you're not even remaking the Super Nintendo game. You're doing the 64 game, which was not ever called Star Fox. It's called Star Fox 64. But you can't really do Star Fox 64 because, that doesn't make sense on a system that isn't called the Nintendo 64. Unless you're being really lazy with like Super Mario 64 DS. Like, anyway, naming conventions aside, the other really hot topic of conversation is the graphics and especially the style of the Star Fox crew. Because very strange choices have been made here. If you haven't
is a way
seen,
to put it.
well, as Galax noted, they're not using the art style from the Galaxy movie. That actually makes sense to me because always check the copyright of things, of works.
Yeah,
Like
okay, fair.
okay, so here's the thing: the Star Fox Galaxy design, like the other designs, are jointly owned by Nintendo and Universal. Like you're not going to see like the Peach uh movie model in the games anytime soon for the exact same reason because
Hmm.
it's jointly controlled by them and Universal. And there's all sorts of legal restrictions around that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Well, and also,
The
if this is
weird
coming
thing,
out next month, this was probably done by the end of the year, well before the movie came out.
right? But that doesn't necessarily preclude a unified art style. Like
Right.
they actually, Nintendo actually talked about this with
Well,
Donkey Kong
it's funny.
Bonanza.
It's funny though because the 2D art style they did for that short sequence in the movie, or 2D-ish, actually looked pretty good.
Yes, um, but okay. Getting to the core issue here is of all games to go hyper realistic, you went with Star Fox.
This
Hmm.
might literally be
But
because of the stupid game chat thing that they're doing.
Yeah,
possibly,
aren't they like using the camera to like adjust
it,
Fox's head position and shit?
You can use
yeah,
Fox as an avatar on the fucking Nintendo game chat thing that I don't know how much people ever actually use.
All of one people who have used that.
While you're playing the game, you can literally make yourself. It's basically like VTuber style face capture technology.
Hmm.
yeah,
And they might have thought that that would look or work that wrongly that would look or work better if they made the art style realistic.
yeah. But and everybody's been focusing on the animal characters because that's what the discourse does.
I mean, they're all animals.
Not just not just because of this is the first time we've gotten um Star Fox characters that are about as detailed as the Trevor McFur in the Crescent Galaxy box art. Like,
You had to make me relive
but
that, you rat bastard.
uh,
You're
look,
I
paying for
don't
my
know.
therapy
you're
bill
in
next
for
week.
wait until MSP,
Uh,
child.
oh no, I don't want to be here.
Oh, anyway, um, it's also in the actual graphics of the stages. Like
Well, yeah, but those
they're
don't look
very.
weird.
I know that. It's just it's the first time Star Fox is like the actual Corneria and Venom and everything have looked this detailed as well. Because
They were
that was
pretty
one of the big
detailed in Zero.
complaints. No, they weren't.
Uh-huh.
Let's call a spade here. Like, no. I remember distinctly one of the big complaints about Star Fox Zero was its graphical fidelity was barely above Star Fox 64. I do think that was an exaggeration, but let's be honest here. That game was not um, up to snuff of even that generation. Like, that probably had to do with, the development and the Wii U gamepad and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just, if anything, this is by far, by a country mile, the best looking rail shooter ever created. I know it's not out yet, but it's a month away.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's getting canceled.
Yeah, the cartridges are being pressed, assuming it's actually going to be a cartridge and not doing keycard bullshit.
It's a Nintendo game, so it's cartridge. Like, Nintendo only does cartridges. Like,
Pretty much.
I don't think they've had a keycard release yet.
I thought
That may change in the future.
Pokeopia or whatever was keycard.
No. Like, and if it is, that might be a Pokemon Company decision. Like if it was done in Japan, say, like the Pokemon Company actually publishes Pokemon games in Japan.
Right.
Like, it's a whole weird situation. But regardless, like I saw somebody online bemoaning, imagine if Panzer Dragoons Y getting this level of remake. I'm like, I don't think there's a Sega game, period, that looks as good as Star Fox 2026 does. Like, that's not necessarily a knock against Sega. It's just, their games, even their Sonic games, are done on a budget. Like, you know. And speaking of which, some details have emerged outside the Nintendo Direct. One of the most important details actually ties to something we just talked about: pricing. So, do you know how much the Star Fox remake here is going to go for?
60?
Without looking it up.
Yeah, hopefully it's like
I'm going to
60.
guess 60.
That would be incorrect.
70?
The answer is 30.
Oh, not bad. I was expecting they were going to go full price, full retail on us.
That does seem to be the retail price.
I mean,
that seems to be a pretty good price for a fully re-arted and recut scened, but the gameplay is still a old game, pretty much.
Right, because once again, this has been a complaint. Plus, I think a reason why Nintendo keeps pushing Star Fox into different areas. It's because the rail shooter does not lend it. Sorry. No, apparently it's $50.
No, it's good that it's less expensive.
Yeah. Yes. Got to remember $50 that's the modern day budget title, but still,
this could have been worse. They could have tried to fucking go for $100 or whatever.
No. Like only the top Nintendo franchises can push 80.
I mean, okay. There's nothing stopping a company from doing that. Just aside from fucking common sense.
Right. But Nintendo's what Nintendo's saying with this price is they know the limits of this gameplay, even with all the additions that they had in the Direct. The problem is Star Fox has never been renowned for its multiplayer. Multiplayer's been in since 64. Have you ever heard a soul talk about Star Fox's multiplayer?
Only because I've heard myself, and it was not much of it, and a lot of it was focused on the fact that unlocking the fucking Fox with a bazooka mode was way too fucking hard.
Yeah. I think that does illustrate the point quite saliently, actually. Like, nobody really plays Star Fox for its multiplayer. Like, once again, going back to Star Fox 64, the Nintendo 64 party machine, the system of Mario Kart 64 and GoldenEye and Mario Party and Smash Brothers, all that stuff.
The multiplayer, while there is a simultaneous multiplayer mode for Star Fox 64, the more fun actual multiplayer experience for it is mostly just sitting on the couch and sharing the controller back and forth between levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My point here is Star Fox multiplayer is not the selling point Nintendo thinks it is. It just isn't.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it'll be different this time. I don't know. Just going off of history, it's not there. It's the single player. And once again, going back to Star Fox Zero, one of the big complaints about that game was, the fact that it could be completed in like 2-3 hours. But here's the thing: the game's designed that way because it's basically a score attack game. Like the point, like it's wrapped up in a narrative and epicness now, apparently. But the point of Star Fox wasn't necessarily to, fly through the stages and complete the campaign. No. The real stuff was to get the best score.
Yeah, to get that big check from General Pepper at the end to be as big as possible.
Yes, and that's something that goes all the way back to the original Star Fox. It's just that is a gameplay style that got less and less commercially viable in the AAA space.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I think this is the reason why Nintendo pushed Star Fox to third-person action in the 2000s. It's just, people rejected that, because it's not Star Fox. And also Star Fox Command was its own mess, but that's more narratively
Star
speaking
Fox
than
Command
anything
might
else.
be more of a fever dream.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because for whatever reason, the
that's the
developer.
thing. That's the thing was talking about in terms of this being the one that worked, is that they advanced the story, but all of their story advancements have been like of dubious popularity at best.
It wasn't the storyline.
And they did
That
weird
people
gameplay mechanics too.
it was like nobody really complained about the story of Star Fox Assault, like having Andross's nephew take over the mantle was perhaps an obvious move, but it's more forward momentum than a lot of Nintendo franchises have,
Mm-hmm.
or are comfortable with.
Also, that's only one possible future, although it's like half of them actually.
Well, in terms of Star Fox 64 continuity, it is the future. From what it goes Star Fox 64,
Assault has
Adventure.
multiple endings.
Uh,
Dash does not
well, no,
become the new Emperor Venom in all of them.
he's still commanding the assault.
No, that's like in 2 endings.
Oh,
He's on your
and
team for part of the game in Assault, if you take that route.
maybe I'm thinking of Command. Like,
Command came before Assault, and he's not even in it.
look, it's been decades since I played these games. Okay, sorry if I mess up some details. Like, and also I'll note, Nintendo hasn't exactly provided accessible ways to play the GameCube versions, which was actually surprising because I was expecting a shadow drop of, if not Assault, then Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
why was that not done? Like, are they waiting for next month? Because hello, there's a prime opportunity here. Like,
I feel like
like so they
Adventure is the rare one, right?
yes.
Adventures
And
is the mostly in action Zelda type
Yeah.
thing.
Well, so that one might be a little harder to release because it's rares.
That one is on the GameCube also. Assault and Command are both DS games, I believe.
No, you remember the plot details, but not the platform Assault is on. GameCube. Jeez.
Okay.
Like, Command's the DS one.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, and okay, like if they want to release Assault close to the 2026 Star Fox game, I understand that because okay, it's got the on foot stuff, but it's it's not like Star Fox Adventure where that game's actually going to take you some time to get through because it's a proper 3D Zelda like, let's be honest here. Made in 2002. So, it's going to be lengthy. Also, once again, Nintendo did have the copyright notice for Star Fox Adventures with the Star Fox Direct, and Nintendo owns that alone. Like, really, the issue with Rare would be the characters, but I don't think there's an issue there since Crystal has shown up in other mainline Star Fox games. Like, once again, copyright and trademark usage is a very thorny and surprisingly specific affair. Like, there may be a clause where they can use Crystal, but not her Star Fox Assault design or her Star Fox Adventures design. That kind of thing.
Yeah, we don't know what all Nintendo owns of her.
Yeah. So,
okay, I had it mixed up a little bit. I was confusing Dash and Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I told, and like, I was remembering that right. Anyway, the
To
point
be fair, he
is,
sucks at it.
yes. Once again, people really didn't appreciate it's Andros again turn in Star Fox Adventures, but
well, part
there's
of that is because it was handled really badly.
Well, there's actually a story behind that because that was actually oh. Looks like we're running short on time here.
All right.
Because
Yep.
Anyway, so we should wrap up fragments here.
All right. Yeah, we were getting a little lost in the sauce, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's like things are appearing for MSP.
Yep.
So with that in mind, if I can get to the right page, coming up on the week ahead. Well, there's no Friday show this week. But we do have a multiplayer madness planned, multiplayer mayhem, for Over the Top World War One, a third-person World War One campaign game. Very rare combination, that. Anyway, and coming up on the Sunday reviews, we'll be having reviews of Dead and Antares, Grind Survivors, Stellar Wanderer, and Over the Top World War One. And we do have a new episode of MSP happening soon. So until then, I shall wish you good gaming.